Yo, some alarming, alarming scores here for some of these different pistols here. Specifically, the one that I'm really looking at is the H&K VP9. 23 out of 40. Yo, 23 out of 40. That is scored right there with the Daniel Defense H9. And that thing was a flop. They had a ton of problems with the Daniel Defense H9. It's supposed to look like the Hudson pistol. They had a ton of problems with it. How are you going to rank that right next to an HK VP9, which is a through and through Glock slayer? Just absolutely. I mean, there's Glock 17 out of 27 out of 40. So some of these, this just wasn't making sense to me. I'm like, what is going on with this channel? And, you know, I started thinking about it. I think this is what a lot of the people are complaining about with for sale gun channels being very biased. I actually watched the video. They didn't have anything bad to say about the Daniel Defense. But what did they say to kind of sum it up? There's not really anything to like write home about. It's great. It works great. Everything was perfect, but there's not really anything to, and I'm over here sitting here like, how about the Cannon grade steel barrel? Like, like this is probably the only pistol on this list with a Cannon grade steel barrel. And yes, I have personally shot quite a few quite a few of these other guns that are on this list. I can tell you that the VP9, the SK, the shorter one, that is what I carry and I would choose to carry that out of all of this. So there's no way, absolutely no way, that an H&K VP9 is scoring a 23 out of 40. I'm sorry, but this channel is tripping. Who was this? Classic Firearms, 1.52 million. I mean, okay, all right. You know, tell Leviathan Corp I said hello. Right? Obviously, H&K is not sponsoring this channel, like, at all. And that makes sense because they just don't. They don't need to do that shit at all. So it just kind of makes sense that maybe some of the other brands that do sponsor these guys scored a little bit higher on their list. They scored more points. So that biased kind of drove down the score of the H&K. I think that's ultimately what's happening here. You know, and these are correct. All these scores in this comment that has 804 likes, all of these are the scores that they gave everything. So, lost a little bit of respect for you guys, is all I'm saying. That would probably mislead some people. Real talk. I'm going to do some videos on the VP9, and it probably kills this list, is all I'm saying. Like, is all I'm saying. And I've sampled a lot of these guns, so I'll save it for that video. But man, I lost a little bit of support for Classic Firearms. It's okay because Clint's not here anymore, so I can hate on the rest of them. Hey, maybe this is why he left. I don't know. It would be hard for me to put like an H&K somewhere in the middle of a list somewhere, because they're typically so effing good at their craft, at whatever they're making, right? And specifically in this category, the VP9 has given everyone a run for their money, because I feel like H&K, that typically doesn't care about the civilian consumer, actually was like, you know what, we'll lower the price of our guns, and we will compete in this market. Instead of selling their VP9s for $1,000, they cut that down to half, and they actually compete with these other brands. And I can tell you right now, I would choose that H&K for the same price as these other pistols that are on this list, hands down every time. And you know, just to be fully transparent with you guys, I bought mine. It's on my hip. I'm buying another one of these, and I also have the match pistol version of this. So that is how good this thing is after I've sampled all of these guns. And I mean, for me to order all that, and again, H&K does not sponsor, doesn't like sponsor YouTubers and content creators and anything like that. I have no incentive other than the truth to be telling you guys this. And I wouldn't be investing so hardcore into a pistol that scores 23 out of 40 is all I'm saying. Think for yourselves, folks. 1.52 million of you might just want to kind of really look at that list and just really think about, is this source kind of biased? It's looking like it to me. Anyway, later.